Egypt is targeting about supply of about 5.5 million tons of local wheat during the supply season, which will start in mid-April, according to the Minister of Supply and Internal Trade, Ali Al-Mosehi. He indicated in a TV statement that Prime Minister Mustafa Mabuli directed an increase in the number of wheat collection points, easing procedures in addition to facilitating small farmers. He's also directing special rules for small spaces, adding that the second meeting of the Wheat Hire Committee and coordination with the Ministry of Agriculture was held, noting that the area of cultivated lands this year in Egypt amounted about 3.6 million fedans, producing between 9 and 10 million tons of wheat. Joining us to discuss further is Funto Ajenifuja, who is an analyst with Financial Derivatives Company Limited. Good morning, Funto. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Great to have you. In this, seeing what's happening in Egypt, how they're trying to adjust with wheat prices where they are. What's the impact here in Nigeria?
Okay, so I'll start off by saying that wheat is currently trading at about $1,059 per bushel.
Okay.
And if you compare that to what it was trading at this time last year, it was about 666. So we see a significant increase there. And, you know, in Nigeria, we do produce wheat, but what we produce is about 1% of what we consume. So we produce about 60,000 metric tons, which barely scratches the surface of 66 million metric tons that we consume.
Right.
And we mainly import from Russia and Ukraine. So the war is definitely going to have an impact on the prices of wheat. And, you know, the production that is so minimal here is due to, you know, production impediments like, I don't know, low quality of inputs and just things like that. So it barely scratches the surface. And if something like the Russia-Ukraine war is going on, we're likely to see that in wheat-based products that are, you know, that are used by Nigerians here as well. So it is likely to have an impact and also kind of exacerbate the supply disruptions and challenges that we're already facing in the country.
Can you actually touch on that as far as the supply chain disruptions that we're seeing? I guess it's across the world. I think Biden even talked about it in his address last night or this morning. Yeah, so what about that for Nigeria as far as the supply chain issues we're facing?
Okay, so...
Is that right bad, huh?
Yes, I had to take a deep breath to kind of just take it in.
Yeah.
So the reason it's very important, like, you know, wheat prices going up like this is because, you know, things are going to become more expensive. It's going to filter into flour-based things like bread, cereals, pasta. And, you know, the price of bread already increased between 2020 to 21 due to COVID-19 supply effects. So this can have implications for disposable income, consumer purchasing power, and it's really going to affect Nigerians. And, you know, it's also going to affect the Nigerian economy because wheat is the second largest contributor to Nigeria's import bill. And if the price increases, this is obviously going to have, you know, this means the government has less to spend on capital and infrastructure projects, for example. So,
Gotcha.
It's really significant.
Indeed it is. Are there any substitutes for wheat?
Okay, so I know a few years ago they tried to make like cassava flour. You know, they were seeking a cheaper alternative to wheat, and they tried to, you know, create a policy around cassava flour, but that really failed. So I think it's about trying to change consumer taste, and that's not very easy to do. So
over time. So looking at other commodities, what are the trends that we're seeing? Is prices just going up? Is that the general thing? What about other commodities outside wheat?
That is a general thing. The Russian-Ukraine war is really shaking up commodities and really making the prices soar. Like, so, you know, oil right now is trading above $110. You know, it's about $112 per barrel now. And that's because, you know, the news of ExxonMobil choosing to shut down production in Russia, and, you know, WTI trading above $109 per barrel as well. So we're seeing prices of everything go up. Like, you know, corn is about $739 per bushel, which is almost a 2% increase. Same thing with sugar. You know, cocoa has gone down, and that's one of Nigeria's exports. So we're just seeing that the invasion, as it advances and as these sanctions are put in place as well, it's really hampering Russia's position as a commodity supplier in in the world. Yeah.
Thank you for the update. We're going to keep our eyes on how things progress going forward. Funto Ajenifuja, analyst with Financial Derivatives Company Limited. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.